Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Fausto Pugliese, president of Cyber Trading University. We're going to take a look at how to use BookViewer, which is powered by Nasdaq TotalView, to trade volatile markets. And Fausto, it certainly has been a busy week for traders in the market for sure, as we're trying to digest the bank system and some of the failings of a few banks that we've experienced. I think really what it comes down to is, how do you determine where these prices are going to be at? And of course, you do that through BookViewer. So I'm going to take a look at your first couple of slides here, because it really does come down to understanding what the buyers are looking for, what the sellers are looking for.
Absolutely, Jill. It's great to be back. And yes, BookViewer has been such a big help this past couple of weeks, especially with all this news. It's almost like, COVID all over again, when all those stocks took a big hit and they started going up. So I have a couple examples here on sharing, some of the charts, like, for example, KeyCorp, what you can see right here on this chart. I don't know if you guys could share it. There you go. You could see how this stock came perfectly down. And a lot of us are always trying to find out where's the bottom and everything else. But when you look over here on the right, on the right, you could see how the stock went from $12.60, hit a support level right around 230 and bounced right back up. And on the left, when you look at the BookViewer, you could see that there was a 62,000 share buyer at $11.73. So when all of you are all looking at and want to know how to keep focus on the past, it's not just the past that is indicative, it's the future, which is those orders that are out there on the BookViewer. Now,
right. Yeah. And then your seller's example.
Right. And then on my seller's side of it, I always tell everybody, you can't have resistance without those sellers out there. And you could see an example on Snapchat, which was also very volatile these last couple of days. Some people looked at it more of a double top or whatever. But if you see what at 9:30, how the stock just literally did a big slingshot, came right back down, Jill. And then after around 12 o'clock, it just hovered there. And the main reason why is when you look at the BookViewer and you look at the sell orders out there, you'll notice you have 167,000 share order out there. Now, most people look at it, we're like, who is it? Why are they selling that much? It's not important, other than being a good trader is having a game plan. And the game plan is, where are the institutions, the algorithms and all that? And there's proof of it right on the BookViewer.
Right. And walk us through a couple of examples from trades that you participated in this week.
Right. So obviously we all know about a lot of the stocks that were out there. Western Alliance was also a very, very volatile stock. Really had some big volatility. And you could see here, and this is just this morning, Jill, this stock literally went from like $35 down to $31. And you could see from the time over there on the right, where you're talking about from 10 o'clock in the morning to about 11, stock hovered right around 31. Now, what I want everyone to focus their eyes on is on the BookViewer on the right. You'll notice that there are so many sellers at every price level, but there are very, very few buyers out there. And you'll notice that the stock has been hovering right, at that $31 price range. But when you get to the $29 order, you have 34 orders out there. And when I change the slide and you look at the next one, you'll see that the stock continued to go lower, even though when we were at that 35, 31, it went all the way back down to 30, and it still goes lower. And you could see it now. It kind of built that little bit of support level right where that buyer is. And if I look at live data right now, Jill, you'll see that the stock is hovering right around 31. And the reason for that is because earlier we saw a big order out there and we could see it hovering there on the chart.
Right. And of course, you were trading First Republic.
we traded them all. We traded them all. And we were trading since the last 2 weeks. I mean, a week and a half. That Friday when they started trickling in, with all of it. And it's just not one. There's several of them, Jill. I mean, even this one, First Republic Bank, same thing. Not only can you use this as a day trade, but you could do it as a swing trade also. And when you look at First Republic Bank, here's a long-term chart, and you're looking at, it's like, wow, the stock was this was $120 stock less than a couple of days ago, Jill. And look at it, it's all the way down to 25. Now, once again, where is the support levels on that? Where is it trending? Well, the stock right now is trading at FRC. Just look at it. It's hovering right around $25 right now. And you can see the price right there. This is live data on the Nasdaq BookViewer. But when you look at here on the slideshow, you could see that on a swing trade, it had a lot of supports right around this $20. So, being a good trader, like as a swing trader, You got two big orders you got to focus on. You got big support levels at 25 and you got big support levels at 20. So us as a swing trader too, if you break through that 25 and you get through all those orders, Jill, you know what? You got to look where the next orders are, and it's all the way down at 20.
Right. And your final trade here, HUBC.
So this one was a really good one this morning that we found on the BookViewer. Very rarely you get to find a 500,000 share order. And when you look over here, the stock had some really big support levels right around these 290 right there. You can see right here where I'm showing you right there around that 6:30 in the morning. So I don't know if people know this, but a lot of people don't have access to pre-market trading. The BookViewer gives you, pre-market trading, and you could see what happened when it broke that big order out there at 290. Now the stock dropped all the way down to 270. You could see how the stock hovers around that 290 price level, and it's having a tough time breaking it, Jill, because you're dealing with a 500,000 share order. And when you go to that next slide, you could see that it tried to go there, didn't want to pass it, and that support level back in pre-market became resistance, and now you have a stock that dropped all the way down to 260. So the goal is this: when you're trading in today's markets and you want to kind of know where everyone else is, you want to know where those big block orders, or we call iceberg orders, like those 500,000 shares, BookViewer is definitely the way to go.
All right. Appreciate the insight as always. Thanks so much, Fausto. And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.